Yeah,
Good
good
afternoon
evening
from
from
UK.
Sheffield.
Good morning from Barbados.
Good morning from California.
Good morning.
Philadelphia,
Sister
and
Joe.
Illinois is in the
Faces
house
all over the
too.
world. Look at you.
We're just
Family.
letting
Good
people
God,
in, so
how
continue
wonderful.
greeting.
How beautiful.
Yeah. Hello from
Good
Germany.
morning, all. Good
How
morning, my
wonderful, how
people.
beautiful.
Good
How
afternoon.
beautiful and
Mr.
wonderful to
Live.
see our people,
Vietnam. I
African
salute
diaspora
you.
all over the
Morning from
world.
New York.
Good morning from Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love and sisterly affection.
Oh,
Hey.
oh, isn't it lovely and lovely,
Good afternoon from
Aloha
UK.
from Hawaii.
lovely and loving and
Good morning
wonderful
from North Carolina.
Manchester.
Good
Good
morning
morning
from
from
California.
Montreal.
Good morning from Charlotte, North Carolina.
look at our faces. We look the
This is
same.
awesome. This is
We look the
beautiful.
same. Diaspora.
Good
We look
morning
the
from
same.
Florida.
We look the
Good
same.
morning from Frozen, New
We
Jersey.
look the same.
Rose in New Jersey.
New Jersey
Look
again.
at
Good morning from
Montreal,
Frozen.
Canada. Good
beautiful.
morning.
Yes. All right.
Spiritually
Jersey is not
beautiful.
frozen.
Spiritually beautiful all over the
Oh,
world.
Maryland, good morning.
Oh, we're the same. We're the same. African diaspora all over the
All
world.
right.
Aren't we wonderful and beautiful and
all
wonderful?
power
Look at
from
us.
the Republic of Poland.
I think ADDI needs to be
Good
doing.
morning, Sylvia.
From Manchester.
Hello, everybody. How are you? I think ADDI needs to be doing.
Hello.
Fantastic. All right. So, and as I've said in the past, when it comes to ADDI and the partners that we bring to the forum, we are here to create an ecosystem of ecosystems, and we continue to add onto the platform. And now I'd like to introduce Dr. Emmanuel Adu, who is also a founder at Eretmis Cybersecurity Academy. And I don't want to steal the thunder away from him. Just to give you some context, we know that everybody talks about this digital economy that is descending upon us when it comes to the future of Africa. And that really means everything that Mr. Bright talked about right now, plus all the other economic sectors that are going to be dependent on digital technologies. But what are we doing to prepare tomorrow's digital workforce for Africa? And what are we doing about all the cybersecurity risks that are beginning to pop up and are becoming part of our everyday life, in fact? And a significant portion of the African youth being the African population being under the age of 25 or so. What are we doing to prepare that workforce for tomorrow's digital economy? Cybersecurity training is one of the key pillars and underpinning capabilities that we have to have. And Eretmis Cybersecurity Academy has come forward, has come home to ADDI to say, I have an answer and I want to help. I want to be part of this. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to Dr. Adu to tell us about the Eretmis Cybersecurity Academy.
I appreciate it, Brother JT and Dr. Arikana. Can I share my screen, please?
Yep.
It's still disabled.
Okay, hold on a second. Let me do that on your behalf, Doctor, because I'm having some issues.
Okay.
I'm glad you sent me the presentation ahead of time.
Yeah. All right. All right, everybody. I mean, I'm still, in shock seeing everybody, happy together. There is always strength in numbers. That is my take on what Dr. Arikana also said. And as if you are familiar with the Bible story, where in Genesis, right after the flood, where, people gathered together to build a tower all the way to heaven, God sat there and said, if we don't do something about this with the unity they have, they might probably be able to, build and come up here. So like God had to change their language to kind of like confuse them. That way they wouldn't be able to go. So that shows you that there's always power in numbers. Okay, so we being here today, like I'm really thrilled, over 800, getting to almost 1,000. I'm here to present to you cybersecurity. Okay, most of you might, know about cybersecurity. Most of you, some might even work in cybersecurity, but the majority of us, might have heard of it, but we don't really know what goes into cybersecurity, or like how, they can become a cybersecurity professional, or their siblings or, a family can become cybersecurity. And also the very important portion of this is how we'll be able to help Africa, to become one of the leaders in terms of cybersecurity. Can you please go to the next slide for me? So there is a partnership, between ADDI and Eretmis Academy. And this partnership, we put it together from Dr. Arikana's initiative, and this partnership is to spearhead education in cybersecurity for our African youth, both in the diaspora and also on the continent. Okay, so the mission for this partnership is to train African youth, to become a continental cybersecurity workforce for Africa and also for the world at large. And also our vision, is to transform Africa into a global leader. That is the key point, to transform Africa into a global leader when it comes to cybersecurity innovation and job creation, in this decade, not just for the decade to come. Okay, so, and about Eretmis Academy, we are a premier cybersecurity academy. We train people to get into the cybersecurity industry. We also train people already in the industry to move up in their career. Okay, so you can be an absolute beginner. We take you from not knowing anything in cybersecurity to where you'll be able to start off as an entry level person in cybersecurity. Okay, and our vision is to help close the 500,000 on-field cybersecurity jobs in the United States, and also the 3.5 on-field cybersecurity jobs around the world. And as we go down the line in these slides, you'll be able to see the demand for cybersecurity professionals. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so a lot about me. I'm Dr. Emmanuel Edu. I'm the founder of Eretmis Inc. Eretmis Inc. is a cybersecurity company. We do government contracting for like the government for New York State and also for the federal government. I'm also the CEO and the founder for Eretmis Academy. And our academy, I kind of talked about that already. Born and raised in Ghana. I served in the United States Army. I'm a former United States Army captain. I'm a cybersecurity expert and a cybersecurity consultant. I'm a former university professor at the University of Maryland Global College and also Central Texas College. I have over 21 years in the IT industry. I started off when we had floppy drives and drives of that nature. Can you please go ahead? Next slide. Okay, so what I'll be talking about today will be the top 5 reasons why a career in cybersecurity is a great game changer for African youth. Okay, so even amidst COVID-19, we still look at, so the 2 main reasons for this webinar, is to inform you about career opportunities in cybersecurity, and also to inform you about the reason why this is the best time for African youth to get into cybersecurity. Okay, we will cover topics. The 5 main topics will help you to, answer these questions. What cybersecurity is, what do cybersecurity professionals do? How much do they make? How exactly can you start a career in cybersecurity, and the demand for cybersecurity professionals? Okay, so we'll start with the reasons. So we all can agree, that cyber threats are on the rise, and COVID-19 even, made it go up, much more higher. So that goes to show the need for cybersecurity professionals. But I was talking to brother JT yesterday, and I was telling him, when COVID-19 hit, everybody kind of moved online to do work. So most people were working remote and still working remotely. But guess who also moved online to work? Criminals. Okay, criminals also moved online to work. So Now, instead of, going through all the logistical hoops of trying to break into a bank, you can sit at home with a laptop and, still do the same thing. And plus you can carry more money, on your laptop, steal more money from the bank on your laptop than actually, in person, because you can only carry so much. Okay, so the need for cybersecurity professionals, for the world to be able to keep up with the demand, the cybersecurity growth, the growth for cybersecurity professionals has to be around 145% for the world just to keep up, just to, be able to meet the demand for cybersecurity professionals. Next slide, please. So our first reason, why you should get into cybersecurity is that the future is digital. The future is digital. And we put this out there just to let you, kind of remind you, 20 years ago, you obviously weren't having a smart TV, your smartphone wasn't there. And I mean, when you look at the phone, where phones started, the first, like couple of phones, you literally will have to hire somebody to, pay somebody to carry your phone around, for you, because like they were so heavy and big, and phone booths were also, like something that we used to do with pages, all those seems really very, far away, but it's not that far. Within 20, 15 years, but look at how we've come, even like for TVs, look at where TV started. Now we have like smart TV that can do more than like a computer could do 20 years ago. Okay, so that clearly shows that the future is digital. Next slide, please. So these are some statistics, to also go ahead to let you know that the future is digital. So when COVID-19 hit, there are studies that shows that cybercrime rose up almost about 300%. Cybercrime was still high, but now like it just went up, the roof. And with technological advancement, comes with more vulnerability. Okay, so gone with like back in the days when we had 3210 or like 3310, like a Nokia phone. I mean, I don't really see how somebody can hack into that. Okay, but now with a smartphone, you have so many applications, so many apps. So in cybersecurity, we call something attack surface. So now your attack surface is wider. It's very easy for people to hack into it. And also, mind you, technological advancement is not only advancing on the good side. Okay, so hackers are also developing and refining their tools, on how to break into stuff. And now with smart cars, smart everything, we call them Internet of Things. It is very easy to break into stuff. Okay, and like you don't need to have somebody who is very like sophisticated to be able to break into like stuff like that, because now we have like more technology that makes it very easy for somebody to even practice on a day or two and try to hack into something. Okay, so that goes to show you that with technological advancement, it makes it more easier for cyber criminals to also function, not only for us to be able to easily do what we're supposed to do for work, and then for pleasure and entertainment. Okay, so that also goes to show you that that is creating a demand, a really huge demand for cybersecurity. And the internet is not going anywhere. Like Bright was talking about blockchain, it has come to stay. It is not going anywhere. So we have to find ways we will be able to protect it. And how do we do that? And how do we get like in front of the in front of like that whole program, as an African youth, or as like African continent. Okay, so can we please go to the next slide, please? So reason two, we look at the demand for cybersecurity professionals. Okay, so I'm not just going to say there's a high demand. We all know there is a high demand, but like what is the facts and the research saying? Okay, so over the past 8 years, from 2013 to 2021, growth in the cybersecurity industry has went up to like 350%. Okay, so the demand for cybersecurity professionals in 2013 was around 1 million. Now in 2021 is around 3.5 million. Okay, and this is a research done by MIT. Okay, the U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics, they also say that there's going to be a 32% growth in cybersecurity in like cybersecurity jobs, or like more specifically information security analyst, from 2018 to 2028, so the growth, the growth for cybersecurity in the cybersecurity industry, we can all see this, okay? And also, people in the industry know there is a war going on for cybersecurity talent, okay? There's not many cybersecurity professionals around, so the government and, like the corporate world, they are all, fighting for the very few cybersecurity professionals that are out there, and the government is losing because the government doesn't pay that much for cybersecurity professionals as the corporate side, pays. Okay, so like some agencies, like even like the Department of Defense, they are all still, struggling to fill all their cybersecurity roles. Okay, next slide, please. So let's look at some international demand for cybersecurity professionals. These were some of the research I could get my hands on. So in Nigeria, there is a chronic shortage for cybersecurity professionals. Nigeria has a population of around 200 million, but as of last year, they had only 1,080. They had only. Can everybody hear me? I had some message that they couldn't hear me.
Yeah, I can hear you, Dr.
Okay. Okay. So Nigeria, with a population of 200 million, they had security professionals, only 1,800. Okay, that is very low. And in Canada, same thing. Lack of cybersecurity professionals from one research. Also in South Africa, same thing. Such a shortage of cybersecurity like professionals. Okay, so next slide will also show us some of the cybersecurity numbers for other countries as well. And in Europe, there was a study conducted by EY. There is like a huge shortage for digital skills, and cybersecurity had almost 48%. Okay, so. And then also in the UK, there was a recent parliamentary inquiry that also showed that the cybersecurity, like the shortage for cybersecurity, like professionals is at all-time high, and it might probably become a problem in the very near future. And the very, fascinating one is Israel. So Israel is like number 2 when it comes to like the exportation of cybersecurity technology. Okay, and they were, that were one of the top global cybersecurity hubs for 2019. But they are still experiencing cybersecurity shortage. In terms of people to work in the industry. Okay, so and also for Australia, same story. So this just goes to give you an idea of like what is going on in terms of cybersecurity numbers. Okay, and in the United States right now, there is over 521 thousand cybersecurity on-field cybersecurity jobs. Okay, and the supply for cybersecurity is very low. The government has a website that updates the demand for cybersecurity professionals by states and also as a nation, and the number sits right now over 500,000 on-field cybersecurity jobs. Okay, so we can all agree that the trend for the demand for cybersecurity is going up and it's not coming down anytime soon. All right, so we come to the very important part of it. That is reason 3. So reason 3 is follow the money. So we've talked about the demand and the need and everything. How much do cybersecurity professionals make on average? Okay, so first off, the cybersecurity industry has a 0% unemployment rate. Okay, and this has been like that from 2011. Okay, and by ISC2, they will do a workforce study report, and their report for this year, they said an average cybersecurity professional makes $83,000 a year, on average. And people with like certifications, they make over 85,000, and those without certification around 67. And also Indeed.com, they also did their own research. They also project that cybersecurity professionals make around 1,000. Okay, so over 6 figures there. Okay, so depending on like your position and the seniority, that will also kind of inform how much you take home. Okay, so we like cybersecurity is a really good paying field, and it's not only a good paying field, it's also the future, you know, because if you want to stay safe and to be able to like defend everything else that we love to have, you know, we have to be able to push cybersecurity forward, okay? And we also look at some international numbers for salary. So North America, you know, we kind of looked at it, is 112,000. Latin America is around 27,000. Asia Pacific is around 56,000. And Europe is around 74,000. And Africa, I could only get South Africa, is around 23 to 51,000 a year. And all these are averages, okay? So we come to the fourth reason. Now, the fourth reason, we are looking at certification and education. You know, how are you able to get into the cybersecurity industry? We'll talk about that later as we move on, but let's look at like some of the certifications and education that you need. Okay, so contrary to like popular belief that you need a cybersecurity degree to be able to start working in the cybersecurity industry, that is not true. You know, that is false. So you don't need any form of degree. If you have a degree also, you don't necessarily have to have a cybersecurity degree. Okay, because even like cybersecurity degrees, they came up only about like 5 years ago. You know, like most of the schools didn't even catch up like on cybersecurity until, you know, like cybersecurity just hit everybody, you know, on the blind side. That is when the schools started putting like all these like degree programs like together. Okay, so you don't necessarily need a degree in cybersecurity or a degree in anything to start in cybersecurity. That is the beauty of it. Okay. So, and, you know, like most schools, like I said, have just started, but most of the people in the industry, most of them were self-taught, and they also took, you know, certification and training and certification like ours, you know, that we teach at Eretmis. And for people who are trying to switch into cybersecurity, or, you know, who wants to switch like jobs, you know, as soon as possible, you wouldn't have the luxury of time and money to do 4 years or 2 years of college and or do self-study, you know. So most people like this, you have to, you know, easily get into the training and the certification side of it, okay? And the certifications, they go a very long way to help you. Anybody in the IT industry will tell you, they'll help you rise faster. And then, you know, you also get better salaries with the certification, okay? So reason five, you know, why cybersecurity, you know, might be or is, you know, the way for us to go is that to start, you might already have some of the skills needed already to start in cybersecurity. And why am I saying this? You know, most people get hung up on the fact that they are not like computer programmers, they don't have any IT background, or they don't have any, you know, skills in IT, you know, to be able to start anything in cybersecurity or in IT in general, you know, and that is false. Because what do we look for in, you know, people who want to work in IT or in the cybersecurity industry? We look at soft skills and hard skills. Okay, so if you are not very familiar with soft skills and hard skills are the technical skills that you need. Okay, so that is what most people get hung up on, you know, because they don't have the technical skills, they cannot get into the industry. But I'll break that down as we move ahead. So the technical skills, you know, might include, but not limited to, you know, understanding the management and architecture of operating systems, network and virtualization software, you know, and the list goes on. You know, there's a whole lot of things, you know, depending on which area of cybersecurity you want to go into. Okay, so that this is just to give you an idea about the hard skills part of it. Okay, so next slide. So once we come to the soft skills part of it, you know, this is where you might have some of the skills already. Or I mean, like everybody on here, you know, I can bet, I don't know you, but I know you have some of these skills already, because, you know, you deal with human beings on a daily basis at your work or at school or anywhere that you are on this earth, you are dealing with human beings. So without you even knowing, you have some leadership skills, managerial skills, you might have great interpersonal skills. You know, some people have great team leader skills, you know, like writing skills. All these are skills that are needed in cybersecurity, okay? And don't take my word for it. You can Google around and find some cybersecurity jobs and look at the job description. Some of these will like literally tell you, you need these skills, that skills, that skills, and all those are going to be soft skills, okay? So reason why I'm saying you might have some of the skills already is that it's very easy to teach you the technical part of cybersecurity or technical part of IT, but I can't teach you how to have good interpersonal skills within 6 months or 3 months. I can't teach you how to have great attitude or be like a great leader within 3 months. Okay, so if you have those skills already, that is a big plus. Okay, so the technical side is very easy. Like we can teach you, you know, if we can teach you how to drive in a month or two, then we can teach you the technical part of IT or cybersecurity. Okay, so now how do we start? So I just wanted to throw this on there. This is like one of our latest students who just got employed. You know, Venice, she came to us, no IT background, no cybersecurity background, took our course almost 3 months, you know, wrote her exam, passed on the first try, you know, and now she's working as a cybersecurity, as an information security analyst, and in 95. So from 28 to 95, she lives in Virginia, from 28 to 95. Okay, next slide, please. So it is very doable. You know, she didn't have a degree in cybersecurity or anything. What she had was a degree, I think, in land economy or something like that from Ghana. Okay, so three ways how you can get into the cybersecurity industry. We are looking at just the technical aspect of it, you know, teaching you the technical aspect of it. So you can do self-study, you know, you can do training and certification like ours, or you can do college. Okay, but if you're looking to get, so all two, the self-study and the college, they will always end up, you know, coming back to the training and the certification part of it, because it is at the training and certification part that is where, you know, you get the hands-on training from people in the industry like us. Okay, so our 3 months course, you know, this is our 3 months course. We are, you know, showing that out here today, and then later on we'll show you some discounts that you can get as ADDI member. Okay, so we have a hands-on portion to the training. You are not only going to learn theory and stuff, you're going to also learn the tools, and we walk you through to set up your own cybersecurity lab on your desktop or laptop. And once you're done, for, you know, people in the diaspora, we will do job placement for you as well, you know. And also we have like we have a career coaching assistant that we also throw in there for you, even when, you know, you do land your first cybersecurity job. We will help you to choose a cybersecurity career path that will be good for you. So before COVID, it was going for 7,600. Now it's going for only 2,899. Okay, so before I move into the ADDI part of it, you know, I want us to look at something. Okay, and based on that, we will pivot into the ADDI portion of it. So we've seen the demand for cybersecurity professionals all over the world, you know, and most countries have taken the initiative to do something about it, okay, because they are projecting for the future, okay. So in the United States government has designated the Department of Commerce to be in charge of cybersecurity. So anything cybersecurity, they've put together, I think, almost 5 or 6 different institutions to help push cybersecurity education, okay? And like if you come to the States, that is for the federal. For the States, we have Georgia, they have their own program in there. We have Louisiana, they have their own program. Next slide, please. We have Massachusetts, they have their own program. New York has like 3 different programs, and they are pushing it really hard, you know. And the question is, what are we doing, you know, as Africans in the diaspora, or as Africa, you know, as a continent? How do we transform Africa into a global, you know, like master when it comes to producing cybersecurity professionals? Okay, so ADDI, you know, with the directive from Dr. Arikana, and also spearheaded by Brother Joti, you know, we've come up with this. So ADDI Cybersecurity Training Initiative, okay? And this is to help promote cybersecurity education among youth, African youth in the diaspora, and also African youth on the continent, okay? So for a special discount for ADDI members, youth in the diaspora, you know, our program is going for $2,000, and also for our brothers, you know, back home and on the continent, you know, we are pushing that for $1,000 per youth. Okay, so we will get into the sponsorship part of it. You know, you can sponsor somebody, your brother, sister, or like anybody, or just, you know, try to help educate youth in Africa when it comes to cybersecurity. These are our contacts. You know, and if you want to get hold of us, it's very easy. This is our website on there too. I think we'll post it in the chat as well as we're moving forward. Next slide, please. Yes, so this is going to be the end of my presentation. Sorry if you couldn't hear me. The internet kind of keep going in and out. I appreciate everybody's time, and I'm glad to be here. You know, I'm so amazed. I didn't know, you know, ADDI was even there until about like almost 3 weeks, or yes, about like a month ago. And I'm so like excited to be here, frankly, you know, seeing all, you know, my brothers and sisters, you know, here. So thank you very much, Brother Jyoti, and also Dr. Arikana. I appreciate your time, and everybody else on here for, you know, spending time here to hear what we have to say about cybersecurity education.
Excellent. Dr. Edu, thank you so much. This actually provided a very broad context about what cybersecurity is all about, why it is essential. In fact, this is not a nice to have skill set for the future of Africa. This is a must have, non-negotiable skill set, okay? And you all have heard that corporates, you know, organizations have a tendency to outsource specific types of functions and projects and so forth. But when it comes to protecting your national economy, your digital economy, outsourcing isn't the answer, everyone. That is not the answer. You train and you equip your own people so that those who are familiar with the local economic conditions and the local environment are in the best position to protect the local economy. And in that effort to build the continental-wide cybersecurity workforce, ADDI is partnering with Eretmis Cybersecurity Academy to start that journey. Imagine when the African economies are ready to start deploying national, regional, continental level cybersecurity programs where ADDI and Eretmis Academy can spearhead that in terms of design and implementation and deployment of a cybersecurity training program. That's where we're thinking that we can make the greatest impact. We invite all ADDI members and partnering entities and organizations, philanthropic organizations, with giving programs to train the African youth, work with ADDI. We will make the training affordable, but at the same time, the outcome to be very impactful for the continent. We have shared the links for where you can go to donate. Those of you who have the desire to sponsor an African youth, please go to the ADDI website that is provided as part of the event announcement, and we will share that in the chat line as well. You have the opportunity to donate $1,000, and we will connect you. ADDI will connect you with the youth that your donation will sponsor, so that you have a firsthand knowledge and understanding about the life that you are impacting, the youth, the brother or the sister that you are helping to change their lives. You will get to experience that as well. So we urge you to really become part of this, because this is the future. This is the future. So I just want to say, I've been casually scanning through the chat lines, and so many questions, so many conversations, so many interactions. I think, you know, all the questions, even though some of them may not look very positive, but we know that you have a positive intent. We know that you're coming from a place of curiosity and you want to learn, you want to know more about these programs. And this is why these leaders, founders, CEOs are here to help answer your questions. And we will do so. So we will have those of you who have your digital hands up on Zoom, we will open up the mics at the end so that you can get to ask your questions. But also, Dr. Edu, as you look through the chat lines, if there are specific questions that stand out to you, I would invite you to provide answers later down the road as well. Now, we do have a community outreach that we're going to be doing as well before Ambassador Arikana kind of takes us home from a closure standpoint. But before that, again, in reflection to what Dr. Adu just presented, I'd like to invite Dr. Arikana to say a few words with regards to the message to the global diaspora.
Thank you, Dr. Adu, for a wonderful presentation that really shed light on the needs. I could not believe all of Nigeria, they only have 1,800 cybersecurity experts. This is indeed a new frontier for our youth, which is why ADDI, we jumped on this opportunity and more importantly, negotiated for a discounted rate for our youth. No, this is not just for youth, it's for anybody who wants to learn a new trade. So it's not just for youth, but we're focusing on our youth because we understand they need our backs. Our youth are struggling, and as elders, we have a responsibility to support them every opportunity that we get. So we have negotiated for 2,000 for diaspora youth who are members of ADDI. So we encourage all of you to go to our addi.org, sign up so you can benefit. If you want to register with the Academy, you get it for $2,000. And for those of us in the diaspora, please, we encourage you to support an African youth in Africa for $1,000. Or DUA has agreed you have to have an African address to get it for 1,000. But we're asking us elders, those who can, see if you can find $1,000 and sponsor an African youth to attend this 3-month course in cybersecurity. We've also spoken to Dr. Adu. He has agreed to give us a payment plan for those who want to sponsor. So for $200 a month, you can sponsor a youth and you can get your $1,000 paid out. Let's support our children. So for the youth in the United States and anywhere in the diaspora, it's $2,000. But if you are sponsoring a youth in Africa, or if you are a youth in Africa who has $1,000, you can get it for 1,000. But your address has to be in Africa, and you must reside in Africa to get it for 1,000. So please, let's not abuse that privilege. It's for those youth in Africa who need our support. So again, Dr. Abu, I cannot thank you enough for bringing this important and wonderful program to us. This is one way that you can say I emerged from COVID with a trade that is something that then carried me through for the rest of my life. Empower yourself, take yourself to the next level, use this isolation with COVID to promote and educate yourself while you are at home. So thank you all for listening, and thank you, Dr. Abu, thank you, Dr. Jote, for bringing all these wonderful, wonderful people to us. We truly appreciate everything that our youth in the diaspora are doing. Thank you.
Ambassador, thank you so much for this message.